Dubai. A city synonymous with luxury, wealth, and futuristic skylines, has captured the world's imagination. Once a modest fishing village, Dubai's transformation began in the 1960s with the discovery of oil, fueling rapid development. Today, it stands as a global metropolis and a hub for commerce, tourism, and luxury. The allure of its opulence attracts influencers and celebrities, painting a picture of a utopian paradise. However, beneath this glamorous facade lies a darker story of hidden struggles and unspoken challenges. In this video, we'll explore the lesser-known aspects of Dubai, revealing the complexities that lie behind its glittering exterior. But before we jump to the dark side, let's take a journey through the fascinating history of Dubai, a city whose origins date back thousands of years, long before it became the dazzling metropolis we know today. The history. Around 7000 BCE, the area that is now Dubai was home to a mangrove swamp, remnants of which were discovered during construction in the 1990s. By 3000 BCE, the coastline had shifted, making the region more habitable for nomadic cattle herders. The cultivation of date palms around 2500 BCE marked the beginning of agricultural activity in the area. These early inhabitants worshipped the god Bajr and were likely connected to the Magan civilization known for controlling the copper trade. For the next couple of millennia, details about Dubai's history are sparse, likely due to the area's desertification and relative insignificance. It wasn't until the region became part of the Makkah satrapy of the Achaemenid Empire and later the Sasanian Empire in the 3rd century CE that we have more information. Excavations in the Jumeirah area have unearthed a 6th century caravan station, suggesting some level of habitation during this period. The arrival of Islam in the 7th century under the Umayyad Caliphate revitalized the region. Trade routes expanded, and Dubai became known for its fishing and pearl diving. By the 11th century, the area was mentioned in writings, and in 1590, the Venetian pearl merchant Gasparo Balbi noted the quality of Dubai's pearls. In the early 19th century, the Al-Abu Falasa dynasty of the Bani Yas tribe established Dubai. The city's strategic location and thriving trade helped it grow despite challenges such as a smallpox outbreak in 1841 and a devastating fire in 1894. In 1833, the Al Maktoum dynasty took control, beginning a long period of leadership that continues to this day. The early 20th century brought economic challenges, including the collapse of the pearl industry and the Great Depression. Despite these setbacks, Dubai's strategic location and its free trade policies helped it to remain a key trading port. The discovery of oil in 1966 marked a significant turning point, fueling rapid development and modernizing the city. In 1971, Dubai became one of the founding members of the United Arab Emirates. The subsequent decades saw unprecedented growth, transforming Dubai into a global hub for commerce, tourism, and luxury. This transformation was further boosted by initiatives like the Jebel Ali Free Zone, established in 1979, which attracted international businesses. And to this day, Dubai's opulence attracts influencers and celebrities, painting a picture of a utopian paradise. Yet, this is only part of the story. 1. The labor conditions. Dubai's rapid growth and development have been built on the backs of millions of migrant workers, who make up over 80% of the population. These workers, primarily from South Asia and Southeast Asia, come to Dubai seeking better opportunities, but often find themselves facing harsh realities. Migrant workers in Dubai are employed in various sectors, including construction, domestic work, and hospitality. The construction sector in particular has drawn significant attention due to reports of poor working conditions. Workers often endure long hours in extreme heat, with inadequate breaks and insufficient access to water and sanitation facilities. Despite their hard work, many receive low wages that are far below what they were promised when they left their home countries. One of the most troubling aspects of the labor conditions in Dubai is the practice of passport confiscation. Employers often take workers' passports upon arrival, effectively trapping them in their jobs and making it difficult for them to leave if they face abuse or exploitation. This practice violates international labor laws, but remains prevalent in many industries. Living conditions for migrant workers are often substandard. Many live in overcrowded labor camps on the outskirts of the city, with limited access to healthcare, proper sanitation, and recreational facilities. Reports have documented cramped living quarters where multiple workers share small rooms and inadequate hygiene facilities. The kafala system, which governs the employment of migrant workers in the Gulf countries, has been widely criticized. Under this system, a worker's visa and legal status are tied to their employer, giving employers significant control over their employees' lives. This dependency can lead to various forms of exploitation, including withholding of wages, excessive working hours, and poor treatment. Efforts to address these issues have been inconsistent. While there have been some reforms, such as the introduction of midday breaks during the hottest months and regulations aimed at improving living conditions, enforcement remains weak. Advocacy groups and international organizations continue to call for more robust protections and better enforcement of labor laws to ensure the rights and dignity of migrant workers in Dubai. In fact, the report titled Exposed: Discrimination and Forced Labor Practices at Expo 2020 Dubai documents that migrant workers in various sectors, including hospitality, retail, construction, and security, are experiencing these abusive practices. Equitum states that despite these clear violations of UAE law, there have been no new investigation by authorities, nor have any individuals or businesses been held accountable. The research found that over half of the workers interviewed had paid illegal recruitment fees in their home countries to secure jobs at the expo. 2/3 reported that their wages or benefits were not always paid on time or in full, and more than a third, 37%, experienced discrimination and bullying at work. These practices are clear violations of UAE laws designed to protect workers. Babak, an Indian national working at Expo 2020 Dubai, described his working conditions to Equitum. "It's very tiring. I work from early in the morning till late in the evening. They promised me a salary increase after probation, something I have not seen to date. I have never received overtime payments from my employer. The way they treat the staff is like slaves. I mean, modern-day slavery." Getcha, who works at a hotel within the expo, reported witnessing significant discrimination. There is a lot of discrimination at work amongst nationalities. "I witnessed discrimination, especially against dark-skinned employees who didn't have anyone to speak on their behalf when the company was looking to fire staff. Some of the workers were given redundancy, but especially among the Africans, they were given redundancy without pay." Chandra, a Nepali security guard, shared his experience with passport confiscation. "My employer has my passport. The company made us sign a paper saying we have received our passport. In reality, it is still in the office of our accommodation camp. This practice is illegal under UAE law, which prohibits employers from confiscating the passports of migrant workers." Equitum, founded in 2021 by a group of international and grassroots human rights experts, conducted this research through current and former low-wage migrant workers from Asia and Africa. The findings from this report shed light on the dire conditions faced by many workers at Dubai's Expo 2020, calling for urgent action to address these human rights violations. 2. Human rights issues. The UAE, including Dubai, has faced significant criticism from international human rights organizations for its handling of freedom of speech, assembly, and association. Despite its progressive image, the UAE's legal framework imposes strict limitations on these freedoms. Human Rights Watch and Amnesty International have documented numerous cases where activists, journalists, and ordinary citizens have been detained or prosecuted for expressing dissenting views. One notable notable case involved Nasser bin Gaith. An economist and academic was sentenced to 10 years in prison in 2017 for his peaceful political comments made online. According to a 2020 report by Human Rights Watch, the UAE has used broad and vaguely worded laws to silence dissent. The cybercrime law, for instance, criminalizes online speech that harms the reputation of the state, leading to self-censorship among residents and journalists. The state tightly controls the media, and Reporters Without Borders ranks the UAE 133rd out of 180 countries in its 2023 World Press Freedom Index. Public protests are rare in Dubai due to strict laws prohibiting unauthorized gatherings. Those who attempt to organize or participate in protests risk arrest and imprisonment. In 2018, for example, several people were detained for attempting to organize a peaceful demonstration against the working conditions of migrant workers. These cases illustrate the severe restrictions on civil liberties in Dubai and the broader UAE, painting a stark contrast to the city's image of openness and modernity. 3. Legal system. Dubai's legal system is influenced by Sharia law, which can lead to harsh penalties for certain behaviors that are often considered minor offenses elsewhere. The legal system combines elements of Islamic law and civil law, and it is crucial for residents and visitors to be aware of these regulations to avoid legal troubles. One of the most well-known aspects of Dubai's legal system is its strict regulations on alcohol consumption. Drinking alcohol is only permitted in licensed venues such as hotels, restaurants, and bars, and individuals must hold a personal alcohol license to purchase alcohol from stores. Public intoxication and drinking outside these designated areas can result in severe penalties, including fines, imprisonment, and deportation. Public displays of affection, such as holding hands or kissing, can also lead to legal consequences. In 2021, a couple was fined and faced deportation after being caught kissing in public, highlighting the cultural and legal differences that expatriates and tourists must navigate. Additionally, behaviors such as swearing or making rude gestures, which might be considered minor infractions elsewhere, can result in arrest and prosecution under Dubai's strict public decency laws. A 2023 survey indicated that 70% of expatriates were unaware of the local laws upon their arrival in Dubai. This lack of awareness can lead to unintentional violations, resulting in significant legal troubles. The survey also revealed that many expatriates felt that more should be done to educate newcomers about the local legal system to prevent such incidents. 4. Forced marriages and sexual exploitation. While exact national estimates are unavailable, the Forced Marriage Unit in the United Kingdom registered 14 cases of British nationals forced into marriage in the UAE since 2018. This figure is alarming, especially considering that 7 cases were identified in 2020 alone, despite COVID-19 travel restrictions being in place. The prevalence of forced marriages in Dubai has garnered international attention, with organizations like the Forced Marriage Unit actively working to address cases involving British nationals. This indicates a broader concern about the issue. It's essential to note that these statistics likely only represent a fraction of the total number of forced marriages in Dubai, as many cases go unreported or undocumented. This suggests that the actual prevalence of forced marriages may be much higher than reported. Women and children from various regions including Central Asia, South and Southeast Asia, West Asia, Africa, and Eastern Europe have been trafficked into the UAE for sexual exploitation. This trafficking network underscores the scale and severity of the issue. Despite the lack of official statistics from the government, the convictions of traffickers provide evidence of the prevalence of sexual exploitation. In 2021, 18 of 23 convicted of trafficking offenses, a staggering 18, were found guilty of trafficking for sexual exploitation. 5. Income inequality. Dubai's glittering skyline and opulent lifestyle often paint a picture of prosperity. But beneath the surface lies a stark reality of income inequality. While expatriates enjoy high salaries and luxurious lifestyles, a significant wealth gap persists. leaving many residents struggling to make ends meet. Data reveals that the top 10% of earners in Dubai hold a staggering 85% of the city's wealth, highlighting the concentration of wealth among a small elite. Meanwhile, many workers, especially those in low-skilled jobs, earn meager wages of less than $300 a month, making it challenging to afford the city's high cost of living. This disparity in income levels perpetuates social divides and exacerbates the challenges faced by marginalized communities. The consequences of income inequality extend beyond financial disparities, impacting access to education, healthcare, and opportunities for social mobility. Addressing income inequality in Dubai requires comprehensive policies aimed at promoting equitable economic growth, improving access to quality education and healthcare, and ensuring fair wages and working conditions for all residents. 6. The living conditions. Migrant workers are forced to live in rural areas, away from the glitz and glamour of Dubai's urban landscape, mainly to shield tourists and the public from witnessing the harsh treatment endured by these individuals. Despite Dubai's reputation as a hub of tourism and wealth, the reality for many migrant workers from countries like India, Pakistan, Nepal, and Bangladesh is far from glamorous. Workers arrive in Dubai with aspirations of earning a decent living, only to find themselves overworked and underpaid to an extent that makes survival in this expensive city a formidable challenge. Many live in cramped and overcrowded conditions, with more than 15 people sharing small rooms to avoid exorbitant rents they cannot afford. This overcrowding creates a suffocating and stressful environment, contributing to mental health issues and, tragically, instances of suicide among workers. The working conditions faced by these workers are often hazardous, posing significant risks to their health and well-being. Reports of suicides and debilitating illnesses underscore the human cost of exploitation in Dubai's labor market. Despite their aspirations to support their families back home, the meager wages earned by these workers are insufficient to meet even their basic needs, let alone provide for their loved ones. The plight of migrant workers in Dubai reflects a broader pattern of exploitation and inequality in the global economy, where vulnerable individuals are exploited for profit while their basic rights and dignity are disregarded. Addressing these systemic issues requires a concerted effort from governments, businesses, and civil society to ensure fair treatment and decent working conditions for all workers, regardless of their nationality or status. 7. Environmental impact. Apart from all this, Dubai's rapid development has come at a significant environmental cost. With the city's relentless expansion taking a toll on its natural surroundings, the booming economy and surging population have driven up energy consumption, making Dubai one of the highest per capita energy consumers in the world. The city's reliance on desalination, a process used to produce freshwater from seawater, further exacerbates its environmental impact. Desalination plants consume vast amounts of energy and produce brine, a byproduct that can harm marine ecosystems when discharged back into the sea. Unchecked urbanization and infrastructure development have led to habitat loss, air and water pollution, and degradation of natural landscapes. Rising temperatures and dwindling green spaces exacerbate the urban heat island effect, contributing to heat-related illnesses and discomfort for residents. Addressing Dubai's environmental challenges requires a concerted effort to promote sustainable development practices, reduce carbon emissions, and protect natural habitats. Investing in renewable energy sources, implementing green building standards, and enhancing public transportation infrastructure are critical steps toward mitigating the city's environmental impact. And if all this wasn't enough, here's something else. Number 8. The Porta Potty scandal, which has garnered significant attention due to its disturbing nature and the ethical questions it raises. One website, DubaiPortaPotty.top, reportedly specializes in recruiting individuals to participate in extreme and demeaning acts for wealthy clients in Dubai. This platform allegedly caters to a sexual fetish involving feces and promises substantial financial rewards for those willing to engage in these activities. According to investigations by Daily Hive, perspective, tools like the Wayback Machine and carbon dating suggest that the website was created in early 2021. The site markets itself by claiming that participants can earn seven-figure incomes quickly. It employs persuasive, almost cult-like language to attract recruits, suggesting that taking part in these activities can lead to significant financial success and a drastic improvement in their lives. The site's homepage reads, "Consider becoming a porta potty today and start earning seven figures within a short period of time. The difference between the rich and the poor is not hard work, but the ability to be smart, proactive, privy to vital information, and being in the right place at the right time." This narrative continues with an all-caps exhortation, "Now that you are on the right platform, take action, for we believe you are prepared. Remember, when preparedness meets opportunity, success is born and riches follow. With us, you have the opportunity to change your life for good. Therefore, we enjoin you to take the appropriate actions today to better your life." Dubai has long been criticized for its hidden underbelly of sex work and human trafficking. Despite the illegality of sex work in the UAE, the region has been labeled an international sex tourism hub. Reports from organizations like Americans for Democracy and Human Rights in Bahrain, ADHRB, have detailed how women are often trafficked into prostitution under false pretenses, such as promises of legitimate employment as secretaries, masseuses, or domestic workers. These women are typically lured by individuals from their own countries who seem trustworthy and share positive stories about life in the UAE, only to force them into prostitution rings upon arrival. Some women, particularly domestic workers, find themselves trafficked after fleeing abusive employers. Public reaction to the porta potty stories has been mixed. While many express disgust and outrage, there are some who argue that what happens between consenting adults should not be judged, provided it is safe. However, the situation becomes much darker, with allegations involving children, animals, and non-consenting adults, prompting calls for investigations by law enforcement. The scandal underscores the broader issues of exploitation, human trafficking, and the moral degradation that can accompany the pursuit of wealth. It serves as a stark reminder of the need for stringent protections for vulnerable individuals and greater accountability for those who exploit them. Bottom line. So, basically, Dubai's treatment of its immigrant employees extends beyond overwork to a lack of support services, exacerbating feelings of depression and hopelessness among workers. With minimal financial and emotional support, many workers find themselves unable to cope with the pressures of their jobs and the challenges of life in Dubai. Tragically, some workers see no way out and resort to taking their own lives, driven to despair by financial hardship and unrelenting work demands. While Dubai's skyline may dazzle with its towering skyscrapers and luxurious amenities, it's essential to recognize the human cost behind the city's glittering facade. For those with deep pockets, Dubai offers a paradise of opulence and extravagance. However, for the workers who labor tirelessly behind the scenes, the reality is starkly different. They toil in conditions akin to modern-day slavery, sacrificing their health and well-being for meager wages and little recognition. Dubai's prioritization of tourism over worker welfare is evident in its response to extreme weather conditions. While the city shuts down tourist attractions during severe heat waves to protect visitors, it expects its workers to continue to toil in inhumane heat conditions, with no recourse to improve their situation. This disparity in treatment reflects a broader pattern of exploitation and neglect, where the interests of the wealthy are prioritized over the rights and dignity of the working class. In essence, Dubai operates as a business-oriented city for the rich, with little regard for the well-being of its low-wage workers from the Middle East and beyond. Until meaningful reforms are implemented to address the systemic injustices faced by these workers, Dubai's reputation as a global hub of luxury will remain tarnished by its treatment of those who build and maintain its infrastructure. And now that we're done with the subject, let us know in the comments what you think about Dubai. Could you see yourself living in this shining city despite the moral issues? Thanks for watching the video. Don't forget to subscribe for more content, and see you around.